Welcome. Welcome. This is a presentation of Wave PTX for perimeter security. Basically, a lot of factories, a lot of industrial units, a lot of hospitals require a solution where they can use to communicate with their security team, their operations team. Uh, uh, they may have CCTV cameras, but with CCTV cameras, you can see what is happening, but you cannot direct your security team or your operations team to get things done. So, and at the same time, you need a form of communication where you can speak to a group of people at the push of a button. There should not be any waiting time. Also, a lot of organizations may have a vast area to be covered or a confined area. So, in if it's a confined area, you could use and they may have Wi-Fi. So let me go into a quick presentation of Wave PTX. This is a solution from Motorola. It's hosted and supported by Motorola, and you also get the devices from Motorola. We'll go into the depth of it. This is my contact details. In case you have any more queries, you can connect with me, or you can connect me through our partners. So Wave PTX is a made in India solution. It is made out of the Motorola Development Center out of Bangalore. Uh, uh, so it's a completely made in India solution, right? And it's exported globally also. So the countries that I manage in APAC are Japan, Australia, New Zealand, Korea, Singapore, Malaysia, India, Papua New Guinea, Vanuatu, Indonesia. We should be launching in a few more selected countries. So while I go on through this presentation, I'll give you some best practices that we have that are being used in other countries that we could benefit from. So the Wave PTX solution, Motorola traditionally is known for its walkie-talkie business, right? But in the traditional two-way radio walkie-talkie, it comes with its own sets of challenges. Some of being getting the license for the frequency, getting a license for the device itself, procurement of accessories. The technology is robust, but at the same time has its drawbacks because newer facilities or solutions that I'll talk about, like emergency calling, broadcast calling, the number of channels or talk groups that you have are all limited, right? May or may not exist. Like emergency calling and broadcast calling are not available with the traditional two-way radio. So this solution, like I mentioned, Wave PTX, is a hosted solution from Motorola, and the solution it offers group call. So, like your traditional walkie-talkie, one person speaks and multiple people can listen. So it's a group call. If required, the solution also offers a one-to-one push-to-talk call. So one-to-one private call, right? In case of an emergency of a person's in danger, there is a dedicated PDT button where you press the emergency button on that, and then it sends an emergency. That means PDT, voice, video to a group of people, right? Now, uh, we then we also have broadcast call. Broadcast call is that once person speaks, everybody listens, right? Priority call. At times, you may want selected people to have a higher priority over others, and this is what the solution offers. Priority, that means senior staff may have a higher priority over other team members. Call alert. Typically, what happens is if I were to call you, and if you were busy, you may not be able, not you know, you could miss a call in a cellular world, right? But in push to talk, where time and it's urgently you require to contact somebody, you can give a call alert. It'll keep beeping the other person until he accepts the call, right? As user finder, typically a majority of the time we keep asking people where they are. With user finder, using the GPS inbuilt into the devices, you can actually find where your team members are on a Google map. It could be a web-based browser, right? We have something called a dispatcher where you can find your users on the map, or it could be on a large display screen, and I'll talk about that. One of the products that I would recommend would be the Evolve device, whereby just on the screen itself, the supervisor can see his members on the map on his device itself. Dynamic group call may require you to contact multiple people uh, uh, at a push of a button, and you dynamically create groups, right? So what you could do is you could select a group of people, create a group of among them, and have a push to talk call, right? uh, Geofencing. Geofencing is you can create a geofence whereby any person entering or leaving the geofence, they you could get alerted. Right? Area-based group call. It may happen that you would want a set of people in your group to be connected to each other, right? So what you could do is you could create a fence or location of 100 meters, 500 meters, or 1 kilometer, and anybody across the different groups within your organization that is using Wave PTX, they become part of this area group. Let's say, for example, we have a person traveling on the main highway, and or in a particular within the perimeter of a plant, and someone let's say come across an accident or needs a particular help, we can then create an area-based group call. That means anyone across all departments, any department using our service would then automatically be part of that group dynamically, right? uh, and then so they could become part of the area. So basically you can set the area that you want anyone within that radius to become part of that group. Status or control custom messages, because using Wave PTX, uh, since we are using Wave PTX, uh, we are using in Wave PTX uses the data channel of a device. So we use packet data. So what happens is you create a group of people, and uh, uh, you can send text messages, you can send images, you can send files, you can send videos, and I mentioned images already. So to to a person, single person, or to a group of people within the organization. So you make sure that any image or video is sent stays within your closed user group. It's not sent out for privacy standards. For example, like say you have a security guard sees something that is not appropriate. That means somebody trying to enter, or something broken, a fence broken, or somebody in a plant seeing a machinery not working appropriately. He wants to connect with his supervisor or the subject matter expert. He could send a photograph or do a live video streaming and send that to those people, and hence they can uh, assist him. Web-based dispatcher. Web-based dispatcher is a is a is a login and password on a computer screen where you have a link, and then you can see your users on the map. I will go more detailed about the web dispatcher in following slides. Uh, but for now, I just say that web dispatcher allows a person to see his people on the map. That is one. The other thing, of course, is you can record up to 20 talk groups or channels on your web dispatcher, and the data can be stored, all voice communication stored for 30 days. A monitoring of talk groups. So you can monitor your talk groups on a dispatcher. I'll go now from top to down. Uh, Uh, so the so we offer push to talk communication. So group call, private call, emergency call, broadcast call, priority call, call alert. Right. In the location based services, because our device has an inbuilt GPS, we are able to offer uh, features like user finder, dynamic group call, geofence, area based group call. All of this is because of the inbuilt GPS. Real time presence. Typically, when you call a person on a cellular, You do not know if that person is busy or not busy. But the very fact that with this feature, user presence, let's say somebody, if I am busy, I could keep my device busy on this application. That means I will not receive any calls from any team members. At the same time, I could, when I make out PTT calls, I could make PTT calls. And once the my meeting is over, for example, I could make myself available, and then I could receive regular PTT calls, right? And messages. Text messages, we already talked about. So I can send images, files, videos. We talked about images already. So these are the different features we can use in text messages, photo and video sharing. Let's say, for example, if our voice message fallback, in case of my device being switched off, I am not in a coverage area or I'm traveling, I would not receive any PTT calls at that time. A person could record a conversation and store it. And when I come back into coverage area and switch on my device, I could receive all my messages, all voice files sent to me. So this way, even if I'm not in coverage area, I will receive it. So one other clear factor that we talked about is these are the different devices that Motorola offers. Now our solution can be used in your regular Android or iPhone, but from a commercial point of view, right? There are differentiation between these what we call purpose-built devices. These devices, if you see, I'll go from top to down. So the TLK 100 looks like a walkie-talkie, but works on a LTE SIM card. Hence, it offers a nationwide coverage, right? It has a dedicated PDD button. It has a better battery life. It has a sensitive speaker. It has up to 96 channels. We'll go into that. We have a TLK 150 out here that can be used in vehicle. It works on 24 volts. So it can be connected to 24 volts or a 12-volt battery. It has reverse voltage protection. So it can be used in vehicles to make one-to-one group calls. It has inbuilt GPS, so you can track your vehicles. The Evolve device, it is can be used both for cellular calling and for push to talk. It has a dedicated PTT button. Again, it has a specified volume knob and a channel knob. So these devices, all of these three which I'm showing you at the moment, support work on LT data on data. So if you have a data SIM or you're just a regular SIM card from any telco, uh, you put in that and it'll use the data uh, packet data within your device. Uh, and like I mentioned, like these two handsets, they have a better speaker, a better mic, a better battery. So that's what makes it different from your regular Android or iPhone. In case you have an iPhone or Android, if it doesn't, if it falls on the screen, so there's a likelihood that the screen might get cracked, and half of the cost typically is the cost of the screen. Whereas on this phone, it's more ruggedized. Uh, it is easy to use, and it's only being can be used for Wave PTX. So let's say if you give it to your security guard or your operations team, you make sure that they don't use the device for anything else. So we talked about this device being purpose built, right? So it has a dedicated PTT button. We have a dedicated service center in Bangalore. So should your devices go faulty or have some manufacturing issues during the 2-year warranty, uh, you could have it sent to our Bangalore service center. It will get repaired and sent back to you. Uh, like I mentioned earlier, this solution is built in India. So the Motorola has a dedicated R&D center in Bangalore that has developed this solution. So it's actually a made in India solution, and it's exported globally. So very proud of the team and the solution itself. Uh, we understand that our customers work round the clock. So the software, the our support center supports through our partners for a 24/7 operations, right? The solution itself, because we export it globally and it's a world-class product, it has ISO 2700, it's SOC 2 compliant, and we talk about it as we go forward. It has many other certifications that we have done. The solution itself, because I'm talking about we're using a regular data SIM or voice SIM that we're using the data packet. So we need to make sure that that data is encrypted. So as part of the solution, we are offering AS256 because we are a US company. We also meet the US standard, which is FIPS 140. We're also meeting the latest requirements of 3GPP of Makisaki. So basically, all of these three encryptions come part of the solution when we give it to you. So we are offering you a world-class product which is encrypted. So on the encryption, just to give you a quick brief, uh, the device and the server itself is encrypted. It goes through the SIM card. We can also help you whitelist it. Whitelisting means that we can work with you through any of the telcos, Airtel, Vodafone, or Jio, whichever you choose, or all three, because we are using the packet data. We're not worried about which service provider. So you could use some of your devices could be on Wi-Fi, some could use Airtel, some could use Vodafone, and some could use Jio, and they can yet talk to each other because we are using the SIM card packet data to do encrypted voice files or encrypted sending of images of files within our ecosystem. So we already talked about it. So we have AS256, FIPS 140. We are SOC 2 compliant. We're ISO 2700 one on the software. We have ISO 9000 on the device. So these are the three main components, right? So we have the software, so you can use it if you choose to on your regular Android or iPhone. We have a web-based dispatcher. You have a login and password where you can see the location, send images of files to between the dispatcher and the team members, depending on the device they use. And we also have devices which are like the TLK 100 on top, the handheld, or the TLK 150, a vehicle-mounted device or a fixed unit. So you have the complete ecosystem that will come to you from Motorola. So we talked about the TLK 150. So it can, if it's fitted to a vehicle, you can track the vehicle, you can do one-to-one calling, you can do group calling. That can be received by a person, single supervisor, or by a dispatcher. The dispatcher in a control room would install the software, not the software, just a web browser, login and password, and he will be able to see all the users on the map. He's able to communicate or send messages or receive messages to the users, be it a vehicle or a handle. So if you have a security guard that's doing a patrol, that person can be seen on the map on a computer. If for some reason the supervisor is not in front of a computer, yet he wants to see the people, they can choose a device like Evolve from us, and they can actually see their users on the map. We talked about emergencies. So if a person, if that's that the patrol guard or the operations person presses an emergency, that emergency is pre-confined and sent to selected users. So it could be sent to head of security, head of operations, to the dispatcher. So whoever's pre-confined, when he presses the emergency button, it will go to those selected people. So just to give a quick brief of how the emergency would work if you want to use it on the Evolve device. So you press the dedicated menu button, long press, it will send an emergency to the Evolve device, and that then the supervisor, which has this device, can see who's calling. He can listen to all communication. He can see the location of the user. Right? This is if you're using the Evolve device. So the solution offers, as part of the solution, we offer GPS tracking on a Google map. It could be on the device handset, or it could be on a web-based browser. So web-based browser dispatcher is a extra function that you need to take. You can actually create geo fences, right? So that means you can make sure what route that person is taking. You can do guard tours. For example, guard tours could be a mix of geo fence and so you could say that a person is supposed to be at different geo fences, and you can track on the map when that person entered or left that place. You don't want to always see where the guy is going. You just want to report sometimes, right? So this could be used as a combination of geofence. And in case of there is any issue, that person can use a combination of geofence with lone worker. So that guy could press the button and inform his team of he's in trouble, and they could see the location where he's gone. So the solution is scalable, it's geo-redundant, it's feature-rich. We have the domain knowledge. We have done it for multiple customers across multiple geographies. Uh, the solution comes from Motorola. It's a robust solution. We offer a 24/7 support through our partners. There's no frequency or license required, unlike a two-way radio. The solution is made in India, right? If you have your existing two-way radio and you want to integrate it with Wave PTX, so you get pay the government WPC charges on the two-way radio or for the two-way radios that you use. But any of the wave type devices that you choose from us, there's no WPC charge required to be paid. There's no license required except for the Wave PTX monthly, except for the Wave subscription that you will pay through our partners. So you can have a pan-India coverage actually, and you can integrate with your existing two-way radios if there's a need for that. Uh, so you could have, like I mentioned, you have 90 plus channels, or plus 96 channels you can have. So you can have a different group for fire, safety, security, transport, crane operators. It could be within a premise, or it could be across different locations, right? So you could have a different channel for different, and all could be monitored by a dispatcher, right? Or a person, a supervisor having multiple talk groups on his device, he could like evolve is the right example, because he can then see which team across the different across the different groups that they have, he can talk to. So a quick comparison between a two-way radio and Wave PTX. So a two-way radio may not be able to offer one-to-one calling, whereas Wave PTX can. Group calls, yes, both two-way radio and Wave PTX can offer. Dynamic group call, again, only from Wave PTX. Broadcasting, we talked about one person speaking, everyone listening, broadcast, especially during fire drills or in an emergency where you need only one person to speak. You cannot have 10 people giving 10 directions, right? You need one person in command. So that's where a broadcast is really helpful. Dispatcher, you want to see where your people are on the map, right? So that really helps. You can send photos and images on a Wave PTX, which you cannot. In case of a radio, you need a license from WPC for the frequency, whereas in our case, there's nothing required. Coverage, you have a limited coverage, even if you put a repeater for the coverage that you can get. And again, for the repeater, you need another license. Whereas on Wave PTX, because we are using the data channel of a cell phone operator, or we are using Wi-Fi, we have unlimited coverage. The two-way radios have limited new devices, whereas with Wave PTX, you're choosing a technology that is latest, and it's the path going forward. So quick wrap up of what are the different features we talked about. So Wave PTX can support on Wi-Fi or on cellular, any SIM card provider. There's no WPC charge to be paid. It's a pan-India coverage that we can offer. It's easy to use and manage, and the device is built for the job. Dedicated speaker, a dedicated push-to-talk button, a better speaker, a better mic, a longer battery life. The solution is made in India. It's resilient and rugged hardware. We offer a 2-year warranty on the devices and a 1-year warranty on all accessories. We have a development center right here in Bangalore. We have an authorized service center to support our customers, and we offer a 24/7 support to our customers through our partners. We have features like emergency calling, broadcast calling, dispatcher. So because of all these reasons, this is a real differentiating product that customers can use. Give you a quick example, because we talked about this was for perimeter security or security. So you have a security team using a TLK 100. He goes on his path. There's a dispatcher that may also use in combination with your CCTV camera if you have it. If not, he can just listen to the team, and he can. So if he sees some incident, he can inform security on the TLK 100 and the TL, or to a single person or to a group of people, and they can communicate among each other. So this solution of ours works both on cellular and Wi-Fi. So you have cellular and Wi-Fi coverage. Some people use a palm fixed microphone, so that can be hands-free. You can use it in combination with your CCTV cameras, because in CCTV camera, you can only see what is happening. But how do you send your security team to the location where an incident is happening? So that's where you need a push-to-talk type solution, so you can connect to a single person or to a group of people within your organization. Wi-Fi antennas, I'm just quickly touching about this. Today, you get industrial Wi-Fi antennas that work with a good range from -40 to 60 degrees, IP67 compliant, and they have cover a range of between 2 and 3 kilometers. So depending on what you need, right? Uh, just quickly touching on this one, we as Motorola do not provide this, but yes, our partners may be able to help you on this. Just over the TLK100 itself. So it has a dedicated push to talk button. There is no display. It's an LED flushed in display. It has a sensitive microphone, a great speaker. You can have up to 300 contacts. It has won multiple awards. It won the IF Design Award. It won the Red Dot Award from Singapore. It won the Good Design Award from Europe. So it's a really good product, and we're really proud of this product. Uh, like we talked about earlier, it has a dedicated PTD button. It has an inbuilt GPS. It has a power button, a channel knob that can go up to 96 channels. It works on Wi-Fi, on and LTE. So this is where you can see the dedicated PTD button, the power button. This is the menu button. Here you can press the emergency key. Out here you can go up to 96 channels on one device. So 96 talk groups. So you could have one for security, one for administration, one for fire, one for electrical, one for maintenance, one for senior staff, one for a different plant itself. So you can do all of that with the 96 channels. So it's a very good capacity solution. So typically customers use our solution on Wi-Fi or cellular. These are the other accessories that some customers choose to buy. So they buy a palm fixed microphone so that can be connected to the device, so they become hands-free. They buy headsets if required. They can buy a single unit charger. That means a spare battery because you want to use it 24/7, that you can charge it out here. Or you can buy a 6-position charger where you can charge up to 6 devices or batteries, and then you can swap the battery if you're using it 24/7. This is the Evolve device that I talked about. Quickly touch about it. It has a channel knob, volume knob. It has a channel knob. It has a dedicated emergency button. It has a large display screen, right? So on the Evolve device, this is where the user is able to see these people on the map, right? So you can actually see the different users on his Evolve device itself. It has a large display screen, so hence he's able to see all the user on the screen. It can be used both for cellular calling and PTT calling because of a dedicated PTT button, and it supports up to 96 channels, same like the TLK100 and the TLK150. This is what comes in a box. The TLK100, this is the part number out here. You have the device itself, a GPS antenna with an inbuilt and a LT antenna. You have a belt clip, a battery door, and the charger. If you want to use it 24/7, my recommendation that you buy a spare battery and a single unit or a multiple unit charger, and hence you can charge that battery separately outside the device. And when this battery goes down, you can just swap the battery and then use it for, because as Motorola, we do not charge you like for how many minutes you use. It's unlimited talk per month of unlimited talk, and you would only the battery would get drained out if you want to use the 24/7 operations. So you can swap the battery and charge the second one. The TLK150, this is what comes in the box. This is the part number. It comes with the device. It comes with the palm fixed microphone. It comes with the uh, L, L, GPS antenna and LTE antenna. It comes the power cable. This vehicle can be connected to a vehicle. So it can connect to 12 or 24 volts. It has a reverse voltage protection. If you need to connect it to a desktop, our team can, through our partners, can help you and show you how you can connect it to a desktop. For example, in your control room, you might want to connect one of these devices because in a handset, the battery gets drained out. Where this one connected to a 230 volts AC supply will be converted through a converter to DC, and this can be worked 24/7. Something like a control room environment. The Evolve device, this is the part number. It comes with the battery, with the belt clip, with the battery door, and a charger. So I talked about it already. This solution is made in India. There is no other development center for the Wave PTX globally, besides our development center based out of Bangalore. So the advantage of Motorola, Motorola Wave PTX can do a broadcast call up to 1,000 users. You can put about 5,000 users in one account. It's a scalable solution. It has new features like emergency broadcast and dynamic call. If you want to connect to your existing two-way radios, we can work with our partners and help you establish that. You would get paid WPC charges for your two-way radios, but on the wave side, whatever devices you connect that we provide you will not have to pay any WPC charges because you're using packet data. It comes with the latest encryption, AES-256, FIPS 140, Makisaki. We can help you with whitelisting if you choose to, so that all your data is even more secure. And our solution is geo-redundant. So if one server fails, the other one takes over. It's all hosted by Motorola. So the solution that we are offering is tested. It's BIS approved, so India approved. It's approved by companies like Lloyd's Register, Lycra. It's ISO 27100 solution. It's SOC 2 compliant. We already talked about the device itself is ISO 9000. So the key benefits: no WPC charge to be paid. There's no we as Motorola maintain all the infrastructure. We offer you a 2-year warranty on the devices, a 1-year warranty on the accessories. We have a dedicated service center in Bangalore. We have a quick, rapid turnaround time for deployment. We're offering new features like emergency, alert, broadcast, GPS tracking of your employees and vehicles. Uh, we are very proud this is an Atmanirbhar product because the solution itself is developed by our team in Bangalore. It's maintained by our team in Bangalore. So it's really, we really believe that this is the right solution for security, and it's a new age solution, right? There's no frequency, there's no WPC charges, a lot of hassles. All of things is supported by a dedicated team in Motorola. Should you have any queries, please free to contact me. You have given my details in the start, or you can contact us through our partners. We'd go more than willing to help you answer any queries that you may have. Thank you.